Hi, this is Blatant, bringing you one of the last games of Group A of the Defense Season 3. We had a little bit of technical difficulty connecting to the games earlier. Sid Drain on Absolute Legends Academy had several fail-out connects, so it caught me off guard when this game all of a sudden started and the bans came out fairly quickly. Anyway, in Group A, 3 of the teams, Absolute Legends Academy, Virtus.Pro, and Team Liquid, have 4-3 records at the end of the group stage, so these tiebreakers are basically to determine who is going to advance to which spot. All teams are advancing, but where they're placing in the brackets is what this is deciding. Anyway, we've had a first round of bans. Absolute Legends banned Nyx Assassin and Wisp, both top-notch standard pro support, pro scene support picks. Nyx Assassin very popular for his very reliable stun. Wisp, of course, for stun and chasing down heroes, and of course the impressive map mobility that Wisp's teleport gives to your main carry. Virtus.Pro banning Keeper of the Light, another popular ban given the fact that Keeper of the Light is a strong pusher and has mana support for a mana-hungry hero. Also banning Batrider, a very popular ban. Batrider's initiation powers are very strong, and his ability to lock down and escape with sticky napalm, which reduces turn radius and slows heroes down, is quite impressive. Virtus.Pro has picked Magnus, very popular pick or ban both in the public scene and in the pro scene because of Magnus's strong abilities to lock down enemies in a team fight. A skewer reverse polarity or reverse polarity skewer combination can basically get 4 or 5 heroes in a tight clump taking a ton of damage and easily set up for other kinds of AoE damage, or for a hero with cleave, which Magnus luckily gives to himself or another carry to chop through them. Rubik, another popular pick on the part of Virtus.Pro. Everybody who's watching Dota 2 knows what Rubik does, but basically he has a fairly strong stun / disable and telekinesis, and has his Fade Bolt, which is a little bit of useful damage, and most importantly, of course, his Spell Steal, his ultimate, which lets him steal spells from other users. In this case, he'll probably be stealing the Wall of Replica from Darkseer or any of Leshrak's various damage-dealing capacities. And of course, he gives magic resistance in an aura, which will be very useful to his carry, whoever the carry is for Virtus.Pro. Absolute Legends Academy has assembled the first 3 of their team. Looks like Darkseer. Darkseer, a very popular pick, can easily solo a lane, harass other heroes, is very useful for a gank, has a useful skill Surge that can be used both for chasing and for escapes, so all around a very good support hero. Leshrak, a very popular pushing hero, being used a lot on the pro scene. He's very mana hungry, but can do basically immense amounts of damage once he gets to a certain point of farm, and he has a very powerful stun. It's a little hard to land, but the pros practice him a lot and land their stuns a lot, and it's a very effective stun when it's landed. Sven, of course, one of the most popular hard carries in the pro scene and in the public scene because of God's Strength, which lets him do a ton of damage, and his built-in cleave. Of course, having a nice stun doesn't exactly hurt things either. Luna, rounding out the 3rd pick for Virtus.Pro, very standard agi carry, and of course those glaives of hers that do multiple attack means that in a team fight she's doing damage to all the heroes simultaneously, or a bunch of them. And of course her ulti, when it catches somebody off guard, will basically nuke them to death.
10 seconds remaining.
Absolute Legends Academy has done another ban. They banned Shen. Makes a lot of sense. He's a very popular support, gives them a jungler, which they don't currently have.
Absolute Legends turn to
and also has some pretty irritating abilities such as callback, etc. Virtus.Pro responding with a Tidehunter ban. This makes a lot of sense. Tidehunter's kind of a natural counter to Magnus, in the sense that both of them have AoE stun type abilities. So Magnus's reverse polarity is an AoE concentrating stun. Tidehunter's Ravage is a stun that, you know, stretches out and catches people in a wide AoE. Enigma ban on Absolute Legends Academy. Again, a bit of those crowd control AoE stun bans, because Black Hole is basically that. Night Stalker, a more interesting ban on the part of Virtus.Pro. I'm thinking that they think perhaps Rubik and Luna and some of their other picks are going to be vulnerable to somebody with a silence and who's a strong ganker. And that's a pretty sensible ban in general. Brewmaster banned by Absolute Legends Academy. A bit more strange to pick, since it looks like Virtus is probably going the agi carry route and not really the strength carry route with Luna, but they don't really have a clear number 2, and Magnus can, since Magnus is a little bit more level dependent than farm dependent, He could easily serve as the number 3, so if they're thinking that Brewmaster might have been a good number 2 pick, they're right. He might have been a good number 2 pick. Anyway, he's an irritating hero because of his ulti, which basically allows him to live through something that he shouldn't have, a good gank, and also gives him a lot of durability in a team fight, things that are pretty rational to not want to fight. And Virtus.Pro bans Undying. Undying is very, very strong, especially early in lane presence. Decay plus Tombstone really is an irritating combo, and it makes it hard to farm a lane if he's put up against a carry, or it makes a very, very aggressive tri-lane hero. Rounding out the bans, anyway. Absolute Legends Academy picks Puck. Puck is just a wonderful hero. He's very hard to get to play. It requires a lot of practice, but once you do, he basically can get away with never taking damage, always doing damage, blinking in and out with both his spell and oftentimes the blink dagger that you build on him. And of course the leash is invaluable for ganks, and especially the kinds of smoke ganks that are very popular and well executed in the pro scene. A smoke gank combined with a leash from Puck means that you are going to score the kill because that person's not going to be able to get away. Waiting on Virtus.Pro's 4th pick. I'm enjoying a glass of Big Red, by the way, in case you're curious. It's really a disgusting drink, but it's delicious.
I speak for the trees.
Absolute Legends turn to
Nature's Prophet for Virtus.Pro. I mean, obvious reasons to pick Nature's Prophet. One, he's a strong jungler, which gives them somebody to jungle. In case, for instance, Absolute Legends Academy is jungling, Nature's Prophet with his trees does a lot of easy jungling. He also provides some counter push. Leshrac in Absolute Legends team has a very strong push capacity, so Nature's Prophet gives them a little bit of counter push. And of course, Nature's Prophet's ability to teleport gives him good map presence, along with the Sprout, which is, you know, a limited disable of sorts. So Nature's Prophet, just a well-rounded pick in general, gives them a little bit of pushing power, a little bit more map presence than they ordinarily would have, and, you know, will be a pretty decent addition to their team overall. I like that pick. By the way, I know I've said this in previous videos, but I still do not know of anyone who has a better handle than Absolute Legends Pandasaurus Rex. I am a huge fanboy of calling yourself Pandasaurus Rex. It's just an awesome name. Anyway, 5 seconds left on the pick, and they pick Morphling. This is interesting. Now I'm kind of debating which one is going to be their one position, Morphling or Sven. Really, Morphling can be a ridiculously hard carry, of course, with ability, with basically Morphling after he gets Lincoln Sphere to block spells, and then can switch back and forth between basically having a bazillion hit points and strength gain, and then suddenly attacking you for an amazing ton of damage, rapid fire with agility gain. Very hard here to play properly, and in fact has one of the worst win rates on well, the now defunct DotaBuff.com would tell you that he has one of the worst win rates for public play precisely because he's so difficult. If you leave the ability switching in the wrong place, you'll have a hero who's practically worthless in one way or the other. If you leave the agility gain on in the wrong time, you'll have a hero who has too few hit points, and leave it the strength gain too high, all of a sudden you can't finish off an enemy hero when you needed to. And it takes some skill to play properly, but it's incredibly powerful once done. 30 seconds left for Virtus.Pro. Popular game, looks like. 1,100 people watching, and keep in mind this is Monday at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a weekday, so that's quite a few spectators. Bane rounds out Virtus.Pro. I like this pick. I haven't seen much of Bane in the defense, and he seems to have had a little while being phased out of the meta scene, or at least the meta scene for the teams that are playing most popular here. But Bane is just a solid pick. He gives Virtus.Pro a ton of crowd control. That grip is also great for you know, locking down a single hero. And I mean, basically, if he enfeebles someone like Luna, Nightmares, Rubik, and grips somebody else, Bane can basically control up to 3 people at a time, and of course if Bane gets a ton of farm, he'll probably buy a sheep stick, and thus allow him to potentially control up to 4 heroes in a team fight, which is just ridiculous. Anyway, introducing the AL team, which is all headed to the top lane, hopefully to try to score a quick kill or so. Linku is playing Puck. My favorite name, Pandasaurus Rex, is playing Sven. Sidrain is playing Leshrac. Their stand-in, whose name I can't quite pronounce, but looks like Joja Deer Curve, is Darkseer. And Chromium, who's been playing the carry for Absolute Legends Academy, usually playing Lifestealer in this tournament, is playing Morphling right now. On Virtus.Pro, NS Heartkissy is playing as Rubik. Airman G, I hope. I don't know if there's anything else to that name. Airman G is playing Luna. KSI is playing Bane. Santa is playing Nature's Prophet. And looks like a smiley face of some sort is playing Magnus. That little engagement at the top seemed to more or less go away. We're seeing an early pause. I'm wondering if this has to do with Sidrain's earlier connection issues. Well, that pause didn't really have an explanation, but it was fairly brief. An early ward coming down from Rubik. In the top lane, I think they want to see if their easy lane is getting ganked. A pattern you see a lot in pro games, or actually I guess they're hard. A pattern a lot you're seeing in these games is basically trading farming. So Radiant side here will basically spend their time free farming with their hard carry, and then vice versa here. And then you see attempts at ganks, often in the middle, coming through this route or through this route.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Denied.
Right now you're seeing a tri-lane versus a tri-lane. It's Morphling, Sven, and Leshrac in the tri-lane versus Luna, Bane, and Rubik. Obviously the person getting the last hits is Morphling here, which is a bit of a strange choice. Absolute Legends has been playing Sven as a support. A couple players are playing Sven as a support using that stun, but not actually trying to get him farmed up. Oh, a quick jump on Luna, and Sven actually manages to do the kill, even though I think they were trying to leave it to Morphling. Bane was there just a little too late to help. I'm seeing a GG from somebody who's watching that. That's pretty silly. An early kill on Luna is not gonna a GG make. And at the bottom lane, you see Nature's Prophet versus Dirks here. This is a bit funny. They're both very, very strong solo lane pushers who can do a lot of farm. So they're both going to get an unusual amount of early farm because they're not really being opposed. They're being opposed by each other, but it's almost like a natural counterbalance here. Darks here is going to get a bunch of easy creep kills with Ion Shell. Nature's Prophet is going to get a bunch of easy kills with Treants and such. And they're just going to trade back and forth. This will probably be a really boring lane, but Darkseer and Nature's Prophet will never have had it easier. Of course, Darkseer is going to try to keep an eye on Nature's Prophet and make sure that he sees whether Nature's Prophet warps out to help him team fight.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
In the mid here, you see Magnus versus Puck. Puck has picked up an early bottle and is basically bottle whoring. You see Magnus with an early bottle as well, but didn't really contest that rune, and you see why, because Radiant has a rune ward, a fairly aggressive one. This actually is going to let them see a lot of motion through the river, so that it'll be more difficult to gank Puck in this direction. Of course, Puck himself will keep an eye out for movement coming up this way, but that's a harder gank to execute in general. Taking a look at some of our stats, you see by the way, pretty normal item builds on everyone. Iron branches all around, a wand on Sven, some smoke on Rubik. So Rubik is going to be the one to keep an eye out for in the top lane if there's going to be a gank attempt. And no smoke on Absolute Legends' part so far, so maybe they're not thinking quite as aggressively. Some other stats, gold. Notice that the gold is being led by Nature's Prophet and... Oh, I'm sorry. Gold earned is really what we need to be looking at. Magnus in the middle and Nature's Prophet free farming, of course. And you expect to see Puck and Morphling, which also makes sense. And, of course, Darkseer doing well in that lane as well. Notice that the big difference is really that Luna is falling a little bit behind in this tri-lane. I think the tri-lane isn't helping her out a ton. And, of course, that early kill meant that there were a few farms that she couldn't get. But... beyond that, pretty normal stuff. Oh, we're seeing a little bit of motion. Sven and Leshrak pulling out. They might try to pull something on Magnus. Oh, Puck and Magnus fighting it out here. Magnus, Puck picked up... No, or did Magnus? Neither. The Invis rune was top and activated by Sven, who's now wandering about. He might try to land an invisible stun. Pandasaurus Rex here. And Puck and Magnus just kind of fighting it out. Sven's looking around. This is, you know, pretty ballsy play, of course. If he misclicks, which you really hope he doesn't, he'd suddenly be visible next to Bane and Rubik, which is a disable kill for sure, unless his teammates came very quickly. And his Invis is starting to run out, so of course, once it does, they're gonna show. Still, you know, pretty sedated early game. You know, I'm kind of looking
Radiant's
forward to
bottom
see
tower
when
is under
Rubik
attack.
decides to bring that smoke up for Virtus and do a gank attempt. The thing is that gank attempts at Puck are very, very hard to pull off, and a lot of the gank attempts in the early game are against the mid, but Puck is unusually difficult to gank, not only because he can rift out and thus avoid stuns and that kind of stuff, but also because, of course, wrong thing. He can phase shift, thus dodge a stun. But then he can also silence whoever's attacking him and then do the illusory orb and then ethereal jaunt out. So basically he has a lot of ability to dodge things and to disable people who are attacking him. And of course, good Puck players are incredibly
Dire's
twitchy,
top
so,
tower is under
you know, as
attack.
soon as they see the animation starting, there you go. That's a perfect example of why phase shift is so irritating and yet so strong. It's a, notice that it doesn't cost Puck anything, so he can do it twice in a row. See, excellent Puck play on the part of Linku. He dodges 2 shockwaves, and Magnus's shockwaves are not free. Notice how low he is on mana now. He's going to, however, luck out that Puck doesn't pick up the regen rune, and a regen rune is exactly what the doctor ordered. Oh, there was a gank attempt that I didn't see. They took out Darkseer, Bane, and Rubik. Sorry about that. Kind of missed that happening while talking about the excellent Puck play in the mid. Anyway, they've taken out Darkseer, and they might go for an early push here, it looks like. Rubik standing around, Bane standing around, or they might have just decided to tri-lane it for a bit, but no. This is very fast attacking of the creeps. They're not really trying for much. No, never mind. Nature's Prophet is aggressively denying his creep, so they actually are going for equilibrium. Leshrak. Oh, they picked up Luna at the top.
Radiant's bottom
So
tower is under
they
attack.
countered the same way that they caught Darkseer alone, they caught Luna alone here. Magnus is going to try to hold them off. This is kind of bold on the part of Darkseer. He knows that Bane is around, Nature's Prophet around. They do, in fact, push the tower. They've got the tower down. And now Darkseer's in a bit more trouble. He's got Surge, of course, so he can escape if he wants to, but he shouldn't be testing his luck. If Rubik and Bane get him at the right time,
Dire's middle tower
even
is
his
under
Surge is not
attack.
going to help him because Rubik will just lift him, then Nature's will sprout him, Bane will disable him. It'll just be a nasty business all around. And Bane, still pretty low level, but a level 2 Brain Sap is going to hurt Darkseer a lot. 160 points of pure damage is no joke. So, looking at some more statistics for the moment, I'm going to, look at difference in gold earned. Notice that the gold is just about equalized. Taking the tower basically helped Nature's Prophet and helped Virtus in general make up the little difference in gold that they had been losing from having Luna killed. And, of course, look at difference in XP and notice that that is also
Dire's
going to
top tower
Radiant.
is under attack.
Which is natural because they've had a couple of hero kills, and even if they've made up the difference in gold by a tower kill, they can't really make up the XP difference. Oh, let me close this. There's a bit of a fight coming here, but more gets away pretty easily, and Nature's Prophet a little bit late to the action, unfortunately for him. Magnus returning to mid. There's a bit of movement down here at the mid. I think they might try to look for something in bot lane, but there isn't anybody in bot lane.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under
Quick attack by Virtus. Oh, and all of a sudden Nature's Prophet switches over here. This is a 4-man push on this tower. The only person who's holding the thing is Magnus. It looks like Absolute Legends is going to come in and defend this tower. We might have a good team fight here. There's a town port. Darkseer's here. They're going to rush it. Darkseer, oh no, they pull back. It's not gonna happen. They managed to do quite a bit of damage to the tower, but unfortunately the tower got into deny range. This is kind of a loss for Virtus.Pro. If they were going to do the push, they really needed to have Magnus there, and I think really go for it. If you're going to push the tower, having it be deny is a huge gold loss for Virtus. And again, that's particularly bad because now there's going to be counter pressure on their tier 1, and their tier 1 is going to be fairly easy to take, but Morphling's in dangerous territory here. Luna's ready to jump him. I think she's going to jump up. There we go. That's the drop. The stun on Luna's part. Now they're right-clicking him like crazy. The ulti comes off. She says, I don't care if I grab a couple of creeps. And good. She catches Morphling. Rubik is very, very injured, but manages to use a salve, and that's excellent. Now we see a group up. There's some smoke. Puck, Leshy, Sven, maybe they're going to try to catch somebody at the mid, or they're just going to try to push the mid. Of course, Magnus and Bane, that's not a great combo of heroes to try to force a fight with, just because they have a ton of crowd control between them, especially next to a tower. Hitting a skewer into the tower and then reverse polarity, forcing them to be stunned next to the tower while Bane sends up further disables. That's just all nasty business. Puck trying to tag them with the orb. Magnus dodges. It's a pretty slow orb. If you see it coming from that far away, it's not too bad. Looks like there's a bit more of a pileup here. Rubik coming in to help defend the tower. Now Luna is thinking about free farming. She's not really sure. She must have been talking to one of her teammates. And down here, Nature's Prophet catches Darkseer. I must have missed something, but he finishes him off. Very, very nice. Now he's ported. Where is he ported? He's ported home, probably buying something. He's been getting a fair amount of gold. He built a Hand of Midas, which is pretty normal. Darkseer instead going straight into the cloak and soul ring and boots. So we're going to see a difference and see whether this Nature's Prophet really ends up farming enough to make that Hand of Midas the right call. But given the pace of this game, which has been fairly slow and pushing, kind of surprisingly given that there's a Leshrac, a Darkseer, and a Nature's Prophet, it might be the right call. I think he's going to get several minutes to try to make that Hand of Midas counter. Alright. We see AL grouping up at the mid. 4 heroes here. They're thinking that they're probably going to have to defend this tower, and I think they're right. They seem to be 5 heroes. All 5 are here, right? Nature's Prophet, Bane, Magnus, Luna, and of course Rubik coming in from the side. The real question is whether Morphling is going to make it there in time, whether they want him to port or not. They might try to take the risk and have him just free farm if they think they can hold the tower. This team is probably able to, between a Lightning Storm, the Leshy Stun, a Vacuum, and some Ion Shelling on the part of Darkseer, they very well might be able to hold this. And of course, Ven with an AoE stun means that it's going to be very difficult. Whoever rushes in on the part of Virtus.Pro is going to feel that smack of a Sven stun right next to the tower. Anyway, Bane reconnects, and we're going to have... we're going to see what's going on. Are we ready to go? They say go. The game unpauses. And is Virtus going to push? Virtus hesitantly starts pushing. And AL goes straight forward. The Vacuum orb coming in. They're going to try to hit Magnus, but they can't. Sven stuck in a thing. Magnus skewers Darkseer up to the platform, but Rubik is taking a lot of damage. Magnus finishes off Darkseer. Oh, Nature's Prophet ulti takes out Sven. And now there's a bit of a push. Good team fight. Virtus really making the best of that team fight there. Got Darkseer. Got Sven. Sven has ported back.
Attack.
And they're remaining. They might want to push this again. Rubik is a little low. That's the unfortunate part of this. Magnus goes, picks up a haste rune. Nature's Prophet ports out and says, no, you know, screw this. Really, I'm going to go back and push the bottom tower. We know that they're all in mid. It's going to take them a little while to get back to me. And that might give them ability to push elsewhere. Anyway, we see Darkseer. Surges himself. He's going to say, you're not pushing this on my watch, Nature's Prophet. And Sven coming in. They might try to gank Nature's Prophet. Sven coming in, gets the right click, gets another right click. There's the war cry. A town portal being channeled. Magnus runs in. Puck comes in. Another vacuum. A leash. They're tagged, and now Magnus is alone, and there's a 4-on-1 here. Leshy with the lightning storm hits it, but no. Leshrak is killed. And Magnus trying to run away, but the Sven stun is going to hit him. And the Puck right click does the trick. Now, 3 of Absolute Legends are returning to the mid. I wonder whether we're going to see a quick tower push. They know that Virtus is 2-man down, and if they can quickly push the mid, they're going to have it. They can see that Luna's out of position to defend this, as they don't know where Bane is, but that still leaves them either 2-on-1 or 3-on-1. So I think, indeed, Puck and Morphling are going to push this tower. At least until they get somebody. Nature's Prophet is back though, and of course he's going to be back really fast. He can teleport. They know Magnus is back in, but they're going to be able to see the town ports as they come in. If the town ports come at the tower behind, that gives them a little bit of time to right click, and there's the port. Magnus is here. They figure Nature's Prophet can't be too far behind, so they're going to pull back. Bane trying to get a little bit of vision up here. See if there's somebody he can catch. No, not really. Bane, of course, very dangerous now that he has the grip. If he catches somebody out of position, he might be able to grip them to death themselves if they're squishy, or at the very least set up a very easy kill. Now Virtus.Pro counter pushing. Virtus is there's the fortify, and they're attacking the vacuum. Darkseer comes in. Puck with the orb pops in, leashes another orb, but Virtus re-rallies, manages to kill. Luna's ulti doesn't really catch much, but still a bad fight for Absolute Legends. Notice that Sven just got popped off right there. Puck comes back in. Virtus takes the middle tower, and wow, Absolute Legends just really fucked up the defense here. About 8-9 seconds for everybody to come back in. Virtus, I think, is gonna Roche. Yes, they're gonna Roche. Let's see. Their DPS 7-4, 7-3, 7-2. A couple of 100 DPS is not a ton. They're gonna need quite a while to do Roche here. The question is whether AL's gonna figure out that the Roche attempt is going on, and if they figure it out, whether they're gonna try to do something about it. Frankly, I think they can do something about it. Between Leshrak and Sven, they can do it, but they waited too long, and now Luna's got the Aegis, and this will help. Luna's been focused down fairly well by AL this entire time. Ho-ho! That's a very classy move there. Nightmare leaves you still able to be magic attack, so Magnus skewers him next to the tower. The tower gets in a couple of hits, and that's it for Morphling. That leaves
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Bane ready to charge up, I think, his Fiend's Grip. He just needs a few more seconds before he has the 200 mana ready. Virtus starts attacking. Leshrak and Sven kind of caught out of position. Nature's Prophet moving in from the side. There's the orb. The orb is Puck gonna out. And Absolute Legends really not being caught in good positioning here. VP doing a good job of push ganking altogether. There's a little bit of a mix-up happening in the top lane. Luna's going to catch Darkseer. That's good for Virtus. Luna can use the farm.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Still not really good enough, though. Nature's Prophet is going to continue pushing this bottom tower. They've got 30 seconds left for Darkseer to be able to come back and counter-push this lane. Meanwhile, Magnus with a smoke is back here. I think he's going to wait for the attempt to defend the bottom tower and then suddenly surprise them with a skewer. And that's going to be bad business if he does. They're not really going to expect this. All they're going to see is the three supports, the three squishy supports, Nature, Rubik, and Bane, and think that they're going to have an easy kill. And indeed, they're going to go for it. There's the shockwave, though. Magnus comes out of the smoke, skewers, but the skewer really doesn't catch anybody. The skewers are out, deciding not to finish this engagement. This tower's getting very close to deny range, 215. So Virtus.Pro decides not to engage there. Puck trying to make a play of it, but he's alone, or perhaps trying to escape, but he was ranged in the wrong side. Puck's been caught out of position a few times. This is kind of the downside to playing Puck. You really have to know where you are because you are a fragile, squishy little fairy dragon. And you can be pretty easily ganked killed. Virtue's continuing the push on the bottom, and I don't know what Absolute Legends is doing. Their coordination just seems very poor this game. Only a couple of times have they really rallied to do the defense of their towers correctly in that top fight earlier. And Virtus is just taking advantage of the fact that they're not needing any resistance to just push this. Meanwhile, Luna is free farming the mid. They're not ganking Luna, and they're not defending the bottom. So, I mean, they're kind of just fucking around. I don't really understand what's going on. Now you're going to see an attack. Vacuum and the orb Puck. Looks like some lightning from Leshrac. Luna dives in and does her ult, finishes off Leshrac, but she's going to get killed off. Almost finish off Darkseer. They're going to try to finish off Darkseer. They get Darkseer. Bane finishes them off with a brain sap. Now Nature's Prophet is in. Bane finishing off Svet. Bane is getting killed. What the fuck? Puck is hanging around outside the base. This time chooses not to engage, I think, wisely, but this is bad. There's 3 heroes down at Absolute Legends, and they're just pushing the third tier tower. Magnus gets in with his blink dagger, locks down Puck and gets a kill. Morphling is just standing idly. He can't really jump into this mess, but they're going to take the tower. They might even take, I think they're going to take the bottom racks. It's going to take too long for Absolute Legends to get in, and this has just been coordination fails. They have the team fight to do this, especially between Leshrac, Sven, Morphling, etc. They've just been coordinating it poorly and kind of rushing out there, and Virtus just has too much crowd control to do that. On a team with Bane, you just don't send 2 of your 5 out. And there we go. Virtus turns this fight around again because there's a couple of heroes out there. Darkseer's now going to get caught, focused down. They're going to kill him, go back, knock another racks. This is GG. I agree with the commentators there. They could turn this around, but AL's kind of beating them. Somebody's noting the obscene amount of money on Bane for making kills, etc. VP knows when their job is done, they're just going to let the creeps continue pushing the bottom, natural pushing it. They're even pushing the tower. This is bad. The GGs happen. All the disconnects happen, and I think we are done with this game. Really, guys, this was just a coordination failure. They didn't really coordinate about defending the bottom here. There was a little bit of lack of vision set up along the bottom, so it was just kind of sloppily played. Then Absolute Legends, yeah, I agree that this has just been kind of poor play on the part of Absolute Legends. They had a strong beginning, killing Luna off a couple of times, but then all of a sudden just decided not to do any coordination, got 2 people killed here, 2 people killed there, 3 people killed there. They never really teamed up and did a good organized team fight to defend their towers, and Virtus just took that and spanked them with it. Anyway, so this game goes to Virtus.Pro. Absolute Legends is going to have another game, as will Virtus.Pro. They're going to play 3 games between the 3 of them. That way they don't have any cycling preferences here. And to determine who's going on to which part of the bracket. Of course, all these teams are advancing, and for Absolute Legends' sake, I hope that they have a little bit of better coordination in their games. Anyway, this has been Blatant guest casting for Feeder Noob. I hope you enjoyed this game of the Defense 3, and catch you later. Subscribe to our channel. It's